Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to welcome all of you all to the In Workplace Abuse National Podcast. My name is Darell Finley, and I'm your host today. Today is a great day. We're celebrating a rally that took place in Pennsylvania. Great turnout. Uh, I have the individual who put it all together today, and we'll talk to her and everything that it took to put this amazing rally together in celebration of Dr. Candia-Bailey. As you know, we've been doing a lot of different things as it pertains to celebrating her. We take pride in bringing um, this message, this movement across in its platforms as best we can. And it's my honor today to actually have this young lady with us. She does a lot of work in the Pennsylvania area. She's a phenomenal person, and she's really a dedicated individual on the in workplace abuse forefront. We really appreciate her on the national team, and I'm sure her local team knows just how hardworking she is. But without further ado, let me introduce you all to Lauren Footman. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Hello, Darell. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. I wanted to make sure that we got you in here because I've seen some of the video. In fact, we're going to play some of the video later on in the show. Um, I got so many questions, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with just first letting you tell the people who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. So, my name is Lauren Footman, and I have the pleasure of serving as one of the bill directors here in the state of Pennsylvania. Our goal as bill directors are really to build community, help promote education on workplace abuse, and facilitate conversations with legislators and other partners to ultimately get legislative protections put in place to prevent workplace abuse and or provide some support in the unfortunate event that workplace abuse does occur.
That's powerful. I'm having trouble with my mute, but I've been kind of watching your chapter and taking a lot in. I'm a member of the New Jersey in workplace abuse chapter, so we look at how you guys move in Pennsylvania, and we take a lot from how you guys strategically move in terms of getting legislation passed. Talk to us a little bit about, as a bill director, what that actually entails. What do you and your team do to meet with these legislators and discuss workplace abuse and the psychological work?
Yes, absolutely. So, one of the main things that we do is keep consistent engagement. There was definitely a build up to our August hearing that we had with the Pennsylvania Democratic House Policy Committee, which provided a forum prior to bill introduction for people to learn about the issue, learn about the research, the impacts, existing protections or lack thereof in the Commonwealth, and really share really our goal of in workplace abuse and how we could move to do more education collectively and set forth protections via legislation in the Commonwealth. And so, one of the great opportunities that really afforded us was to really give voice to the lived experiences of individuals, and then it allowed us to really convene some of the key partners in the House to introduce ourselves and really build the necessary rapport to allow for a bill to eventually be introduced, which it was. And so, really, my role as the bill director is just to make sure that we are strategically engaging survivors, advocates, legislators, and other partners. And so, part of that is we were meeting monthly prior to the hearing, just to understand what the landscape of the survivors across the Commonwealth, really doing our due diligence with the national team and other advocates in Pennsylvania to understand what are the existing bills or legislation that were currently looking to be introduced, had been introduced, and what protections currently existed. And so from there, with that information and the willingness really of the members of our coalition here in Pennsylvania, it provided us enough support to really navigate what can be an uncomfortable terrain of engaging elected officials. One of the things that was helpful is my elected official, Representative Joanna McClinton, is actually the Speaker of the House in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And so she's been a great ally and a shepherd of this topic. Interestingly enough, I was already going to be meeting with her office when I worked in a local government to just talk about workplace psychological safety. And by the time I had the meeting with her, I had been a victim of workplace abuse. And so it shows that it is a topic that is far more common than we would like to think. And so through conversations with her, ongoing follow up with the Democratic Policy Committee, even post the hearing in August, we've been able to build the momentum to allow for a very powerful rally that took place this month to honor the life of Dr. Bailey, who unfortunately took her life via suicide after experiencing workplace abuse that she documented um, at a university in the state of Missouri. And so we really used the fact that it was her birthday month, Women's History Month, as a topic to really rally around and really continue the momentum. And due to the rally coming, it helped introduce the healthy workplace bill that we're seeking key amendments to. With that being said, there's a lot more to do, and happy to answer any other questions that you may have about the rally or kind of our next steps or what it took to get to this point.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Dr. Candia-Bailey. We here at In Workplace Abuse have been celebrating her life and her legacy uh, since I think January the 1st is when we had Andrea Moorhead release that first rally video. We worked hard to get that going. And I interviewed Andrea last, I think maybe 2 weeks ago. Another amazing sister, really powerful and strong in this movement. Um, so it's an honor to once again shout out the Bailey family and all of their participation and their support in allowing us to use that platform to further our message. So, how long and how much time, if you don't mind, telling us that it did it take to really organize this? Because I've seen some of the video from the rally, and it was well put together. We're going to look at some of the testimonies of some of the people in a minute, but how much time and I just want the people to understand that, first of all, that we don't get paid for this. This is all voluntary, but we do dedicate our time and our resources. So let's talk to the people a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we think about the time that it took, so again, we meet at least monthly, at least for an hour to an hour and a half as a coalition to just talk about strategy. And so really the mounting to the rally had been in the works for some time with some of the things happening earlier in the year. We were not able to do it in solidarity with the other chapters, but we were diligently working behind the scenes to engage not only the Department of General Services, who controls the rotunda space, but advocates, legislators. And so we even had to create a steering committee outside of our regular monthly meetings to talk about how we could strategically engage survivors, elected officials, different commissions of the governor that may be interested in this topic, including the Women's Commission, the LGBTQ Affairs Commission, and really understanding that we did not just want the rally to be in isolation of itself, but really wanted it to be in connection to legislation. And so, through a lot of the conversations and back and forth around when we wanted to do it, because again, Dr. Bailey's birthday is actually in March, we wanted to make sure that at least the House was in session to be able to participate, which we were able to coordinate. Again, Speaker McClinton, Representative Harkins, who introduces the Healthy Workplace Bill, and other advocates were able to really show up in solidarity. We had a local of SEIU in participation, and that just shows the coordination and the preparation that needed to take place even for that to happen. And so I it's hard to quantify the hours because even leading up to it, we were meeting with elected officials' offices. The Senate was not in session that week, so for the Senate members who were not there, we still met with their staff. We took it as an opportunity. Oh, even if you can't make it, we'll love to get this on your radar. And so now we actually have a Senate bill that is going to be complementary to the House bill. And so this is the first time we've had a complimentary Senate bill ever on this topic. And so that just goes to show you a lot of the diligence and also the time commitment that it definitely took for me and other people on our steering committee, emailing elected officials, helping to working with Deb, our leader, to get handouts because we didn't want people to just be coming there and not have the facts behind why this is so important. So we had handouts, we had signs made that Deb helped me design and I got printed. And so as you said, all of this is done via volunteerism, but I think that that shows the amount of diligence that was done through volunteerism, shows you how important this topic is.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that this is the first time it's going to be in a vote on the House and the Senate in Pennsylvania. So, to your constituents in the Pennsylvania area, tell them how they can get involved because that's important as well.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the ways you can get involved is on the End Workplace Abuse website. If you're not already connected, signing up to join the Pennsylvania Coalition, and Deb will connect you with us, and so you can be a part of our monthly meetings and get the updates. But then also there are actions that have been set up where you can email your elected officials, your state rep, and also your state senators to talk to them about the importance of passing key legislation with key amendments that we actually are working toward, and definitely willing to like dive into the key amendments, but then also really emailing the labor committees in the House and the Senate will be critical. And that's been something I've been actually doing this week, doing a lot of follow up, thanking their staffers for coordinating their participation, and then sharing like, hey, we know the bill's been introduced. We want key amendments. And also, what can we be doing as advocates to get this bill out of committee? And so, again, signing up to be a part of the coalition, reaching out to your elected officials, and then also reaching out to the labor committees. And so, the great thing about in workplace abuse, we make it easy. If you sign up to become a part of the coalition, you start to get this information directly, or you can just sign up to participate in these actual actions through um, the website as well, where it will allow you to email your legislator and allow you to email the labor committee, and it's already pre populated for your use.